Hey you, how you doing? What's going on? My name is Paul and welcome to the channel, Battlefielders. Appreciate you tuning in to another daily Battlefield video. If you guys like what you see today, subscribe and be sure to smack that like button as it really helps the channel get out there and grow a little bit. So, fasten your seatbelts, guys. This is going to be a turbulent one. To be honest with you, Battlefield 1 has got a rocky road ahead. And this is just me completely putting it all out there. So we're going to just spread the legs, dive straight in, and talk about what kind of life expectancy this game has. And I've kind of separated it into a few different subcategories so that I can stay focused and talk about the weaknesses of the game and what they could do going forward. Because if we're being honest with ourselves, Battlefield is years behind the competition in a few areas. We're talking a reward system, some sort of collection system, and it's really weird because a lot of games under even the EA umbrella have embraced this, like Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. They not only have community events and a long list of things they do, complete roadmap of everything they have planned. They also have collectibles and things to aim for and just give you a reason to keep coming back and playing, a reward system in play, and they do a really good job at it. And Battlefield up until now has been years behind. They're just now getting battle packs. We're getting camos for the first time. And a day and age where every other game's doing this, Call of Duty's been doing this for years, Overwatch has come in and has done this, everything out there is already doing this. Battlefield is behind yet again in this area, and it's one of the only main things that this game needs. It's something that has plagued the game for a while because everything else kind of has some sort of an end game, something to aim for, collect, and Battlefield has never quite hit that mark, and now they're starting to do it. Unfortunately, they've stepped into a giant pile of poo because they are restricted to how they can even do this. And what I mean by this is they are trapped in a dead era. This is World War I, and as much as an interesting idea and fun experience as it is, and I love the base gameplay itself, this is really going to hurt the longevity of the game because there are limitations they have here. There's only certain types of cosmetic things they can do, so they stick to that authentic feel. They can't really slap some sort of neon green dragon on the side of a gun and say, here you go, guys, because, well, they didn't have neon dragons back in World War I, if I can recall. And it's one of those things. So they can't do Stat Track, and even Titanfall, another game under the umbrella, has embraced these sort of collections, and I feel like this is one area they need to completely bolster to make sure that this game is something to keep people active and playing. They need a reward system or something to aim for. They already have medals and stuff in the game, but honestly, what the hell do they give us? A little bit of experience? Who gives a shit? In one game, I can get every bit of the experience earned from doing all 5 medals. What up? And honestly, it's kind of meh. And the camos are cool and interesting, but like I said, they're limited. All they can do is create wood and maybe take some sort of metal, gold or something. And it's kind of hard to work with that. Unfortunately, they implemented it during a dead era, and it's going to be hard for the future of that. But when the new game comes out in 2018, 2 years from now, they could probably create some really cool things. But then again, that's 2 years out. Lord knows what the competition has come up with between now and then. And they may be behind yet again. And this is something they need to get ahead of, or at least keep up with, and focus on. It really is going to help the game in the future. And since we're talking about World War I, that's another thing you have to worry about over the next 2 years. What can they add to the game? What kind of gadgets? Maybe like caltrops and things like this, but there were only so many things to use back then. They came up with creative ways to fight, unique types of armor. Guns like that can still be brought in. They tampered with Calibri and other things, so even some of these sort of experimental types of weapons they're throwing in to try to keep it fresh, but they are really grabbing for ideas, and it's obvious that this is a thing. So I am a little scared about what is going to come from the future DLC. Is there going to be enough there to keep us happy? And for those that have been around, this is a very dedicated and loyal community. The Battlefield community will stick by the game. They absolutely love the game. But the new people coming in, are they going to be able to adapt and completely adjust to this 2-year gap? It's going to be really hard. And as a guy that came in during BC2 and BF3, it wasn't the easiest to go a couple years without a new, entire, redone and revamped experience. It was a little challenging, not going to lie. Now, on the topic of collections and rewards, this is something they need to amp up right now, and this is something they aim to do too, because there are not enough ways to earn rewards, there's not enough ways to earn these collectibles, and it's a little scary because there's just not enough of it now. Now they're cycling the revisions, there's a decent amount of them out there, but they need to make them worthy. Maybe creating some sort of unique type of community event would be great. And this is one of the most interesting features of that Garden Warfare 2 game I mentioned previously. They have like a character that comes in and you can buy things from after you've saved up whatever. So they could do something similar to this, but also create community goals. If we get 10,000 kills in 1 week with the Bartek Bludgeon, then we unlock the first phase of a reward. And the second phase will be 50,000 kills with tanks, and it continuously unlocks these achievements that the community together needs to come together and do over the course of a week, and unlock different tiers and get unique camos or types of guns that you can only obtain through these types of mechanics. And it would keep people coming back to your game. Even basic mobile games like Pokemon Go have daily login rewards. Smite login rewards that amplify it. So maybe if you logged in 3 or 4 times in a row, played every day, once you get up to 7 days in a row, you get a double experience boost that you get to keep throughout the entire week. And it continuously encourages people to come back and play over and over and over again. There needs to be goals to aim for. And I know it sounds silly because it's technically not a real need, but when everything else out there is doing this and more, you need to be keeping up at minimum. At least in my opinion, I feel like Battlefield needs to get up to par with everything else. Another area, and this is going to be very hard for them to try to do, is competitive. Overwatch has come in competitive. Counter-Strike competitive. Call of Duty's got competitive and ranked built into it. Halo. Every other main shooter out there has got a ranked system or some sort of competitive area or arena at their disposal. Battlefield doesn't. Like I said, just another area that they are years behind the competition. And I honestly don't know how they do this. It's going to be a little challenging, maybe with the lower player count with Rush, 12v12. It's going to be very hard and complicated, but maybe just somehow they can do that with domination or something. I don't know. Maybe you guys could shoot some ideas and spitball something interesting down in the comment section below, but competitive Battlefield would be absolutely incredible. I would love to participate, but I just don't know if the game is ready for this yet, how they would incorporate this. But best believe this would be a big changer, and it would keep the game exciting for months and months and months. People are going to push themselves. They can create seasons where they can climb the rankings. This has become the norm, and yet Battlefield is not delivering in these areas, and it's not helping the future of the game. The community events is another thing I mentioned. This is something that I think is really important because, like I said, this is one thing that generally separates themselves from a lot of other games out there. The Battlefield community is a little elitist. They're a little cranky at sometimes, but they're as normal as can be united. And we can get a little salty, we can get a little rough, we can get a little kind of mean towards each other, but ultimately we love the game and we will stick by it no matter what. And this is a very unique thing because most games don't have this. And with that, I feel like they should focus on this and use it. Kind of enhance this experience by creating these community events that people can participate in. And they're doing good things with their live stream, trying to get people involved in that, but I'm talking as a community. They've set up things like this before, and if they make this a weekly thing, they can really do some good things to keep this game healthy and fresh and active for months and months and months. And another thing, and this is something that I feel like I need to talk about, is it's about that time that they bring in another development team, and they may actually be in the process of doing this. My theory is we basically just had Titanfall 2 and Battlefield released like a week apart. We know Battlefield's got 2 more years until another one comes out. Realistically, probably the same expectation for Titanfall. So what's going to happen next year? What do they have lined up? What properties do they own that are going to be a top-tier FPS experience? Garden Warfare 2 was actually earlier this year as well. They may be able to get another one out next year. I don't know. But they've kind of exhausted their options. Honestly, what can come out next year that's going to satisfy the people and the fans of EA? This is really, really crazy. And all I can think of is the team that worked on Hardline is taking a different route. They really need to bring in some other developer or create their own and combine some of their talent and create a secondary DICE team. Something interesting that is completely focused around Battlefield so that they can have a Battlefield year after year. This is something I think they desperately need. Call of Duty's up to, what, 3 teams now? This is your direct competition. Now, their games may be shit, but they still have just as much time per team to work on a game. Every, what, 2 or 3 years a new game comes out in cycle? Now, the quality of the games is not in argument, because Call of Duty has definitely dropped off. The truth is, they're having just as much time to work on those titles, be it crap. But if they came in and prod in another team and they split this out, DICE could be pumping out yearly Battlefield titles and kind of do like how Call of Duty used to do with Infinity Ward and Treyarch. and they just juggle the responsibility. Each team gets 2 years to create their own twist using the proper Frostbite engine and pump out bi-yearly content. Now, the state of the game itself, incredible. This is not in question at all. I love the game itself. They execute it flawlessly. The large-scale conflict, oh, tight ass. Love it. But it's the extra stuff. Well, they would be considered extra stuff. 5 years ago, these were just additional things to spice up the game or the end game. But now they've become almost mandatory. You can riddle off any type of game in almost any genre, and they have unique camos and add-ons and some sort of community event or competitive. They have all of these extra things that have now become almost mandatory. And for a large team like DICE to not at least be up to par, or even setting the bar, it's kind of an embarrassment, to be honest, and this is something they need to step on. And like I said, with the limitations of World War I, it's going to be risky to keep people active and interested in this game for 2 years. Not to mention, the other flaw I mentioned was the multiple dev teams. They lack this. 2 years is a long time to go. You got to keep in mind that not only do they have to keep this game relevant and active for a year with outdated warfare 100 years old, but they also have to stay alive and important throughout a whole nother year of new games. Their competitors releasing new games, new content, and we are still on year-old stuff. Little scary when you think about it for a game that I'm so passionate about, that I enjoy so much. It's just lacking in certain areas, and believe it or not, it will hurt it. It definitely will, and it's already been hurting it because they've been behind for a while. So I'm excited to see what the future will bring. Leave your own comment down below. Just go ahead and stuff that guy right in there. Spit on it or something. And let me know what you guys think. What kind of theory do you have? Is it going to survive? What kind of complications is it looking at? Give your own information down below. So I love you guys. I will catch you with another Battlefield video tomorrow. Subscribe if you're new here. Smash that like button. Love you guys. Take care.